Hi friends, welcome to Aishu's DIY. Today we will design a necklace using Sam's Bead box for this subscription for the month of March 2023. These are the lentil beads that we received in the box, and then I have some 10 seed beads, 12 seed beads, which is right here. This is a Hobby Lobby brand in an antique bronze color. It's a Hobby Lobby brand. It's not a branded one, but I really love this color, and I used it. So this is what it is, and what I'm going to do here is I have strung the beads in this pattern. The small 4mm glass beads in the mint and the clear color. That's what I used, separated by the 12 seed beads. And then I started using this 8mm mint green beads. And then I used this table. I don't know if this is a table cut or not, but this bicone shaped kind of beads that we received, I used that as well. And then we need a clasp for this, and you can use any clasp you want which is available in your stash. You can use them, but I'm gonna use the safest clasp possible, which is a lobster claw. I have a bronze lobster claw clasp, and also what I will use is a closed jump ring that I have in my stash. It's a decorated ring, it's closed, so that's a safer bet for me. And I need some crimp beads. Thinking whether should I use the bronze color crimp bead. So these are jump rings, wire guardians. I got my crimp tubes as well. So we need to measure this length of the necklace, how long we want it, and so let's measure this, right? So as such, it is some 6 is like here, and then again a 6, 12, 12 plus almost 2, I would say 18 inches. So that's good enough. So a couple more beads and I'm done. You don't need a longer one. I want this necklace to be a short necklace, so 18 inches is more than enough. So I'm just going to add, how much is this? It's like 3, 6, 9 and 10 beads to bead in total. Okay, and I'm going to crimp on only one end. I'm not going to crimp the other end, and I'm going to work with the necklace, and then finally I will crimp it, is what my thought process is. I'm adding a 12 seed beads at the end. I'm taking my crimp tubes or crimp beads in my case. These are the teeny tiniest not a plug, I would say a pouch that I have ever seen. It's pretty nice. And then I take my crimp bead in there, and then pick up, actually this doesn't look good, right? So we end up with a glass bead. That way now the crimp bead will look like a 12 seed beads. Obviously it will not be, it will be crimped, so it will look much smaller than that, but at least it will look symmetrical is what I'm thinking. So here we go. Let me know in the comments below if you guys think the same way or not. because I always feel that both the sides needs to be same. It's hard for me to do an asymmetrical necklace just for that reason. So here we go. Come back through the crimp tube. Make sure it's not, the wires don't crisscross inside the crimp tube, but rather it is parallel. I need this big a loop. I would prefer this bigger loop for my lobster claw to freely move. And I'm going to use the crimping pliers today. There is 2 holes in the crimping pliers. One is like a cashew nuts shape. The other one is like a oval one. So I just go ahead and keep the crimp tube in the second, and then I crimp it. That will crush it and make it like a bean kind of a thing. And then go ahead vertically this way through the first hole, and then squish that. So that way it will form like a bead. You can go ahead and crimp it nicely. Okay. Now that's nice and tight. Try moving your beads on top of both the cores, because you have a short tail left over there. It's not going in, so it's better for us to snip it off. Take your wire snips and then go ahead and cut it as close as possible to the crimp bead. Okay, now move all the beads towards the side, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bead stopper, and then I'm going to stop these beads over here. So just like that. Okay, now it's as if we have crimped it, right? So I want that to be happening. So this is what it is. Now what I'm going to do here is add I need a thread and a needle. I'll use the Miyuki thread. This is what I got from bbcraft.com, one full set of Miyuki thread. And you can see this is 100% nylon, and you just lift the sticker above, and you can see the thread is attached right there for us to easily remove, and then we can stick it back there. Okay, it's easy to unwind the thread from the spool. I didn't remove the plastic, as you guys can see, because as it loosens up it will come back. So a wingspan, no, an arm span of thread is good enough, but I want it to be doubled is what I'm thinking. So I'm just taking more thread, wingspan, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tuck this inside that cut over there, you can see that, and then leave it at that point, and then snip it off with a scissor or wire cutters. This is not working. I think scissors will work the best. I have a size 12 beading needle. It's a pretty difficult task for me to thread the needle. The thing is, these threads are small, so you don't have to flatten this as how we would flatten the wildfire or fire line. You just put it in. Otherwise, if I try to flatten it, just splits, and then it's not working. So go ahead and tie an overhand knot or 2. I just tied a bunch like that, and then bring the needle to the center of the thread. That way you have your thread, doubled. Let me just make sure that the thread is in the middle. Be very gentle. That's what I would say, because and then if you want, you can actually take your beeswax and condition the thread. Almost there. That should be good enough, I guess. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this thread, then go ahead and so this is the center part that I'm going to work, right? So what I'm going to do here is take my needle and go through one of the beads over here, just like that. Just go through that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go underneath this one. It's like a half-inch knot. Okay, so just go underneath this one and come back through that loop. See how I have holded my thread, that I'll make sure that I don't catch on to anything else but that one right there, like that. Carefully bring it around. Okay, once it is right next to it, remove your finger and then tighten that knot, making sure the knot goes between the seed bead and the 8mm Czech glass bead, and then tighten that up just a little bit. Pull the cords individually so that the knot is tight. I have a knot right there. So now I move through the 12 seed beads. It's pretty tight. I tried it. It came out pretty good. Let me show you guys how I did it. So my thread is exiting out of the 8mm bead. I picked up 5 seed beads. 4 and 5, and then 1 lentil bead, and then 5 more seed beads. Okay, drop it down. And skip the 11 seed bead and go through the next 8mm bead. When you pull it, it kind of goes around the bead, just in a twisted format. Can you see that? How it comes around? So this is what we have right now. So I'm going to do this between every bead, and it looks like as if something is, it's like a drop. Add more seed beads, then pick up 5, 4 and 5, and 1 lentil bead, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like that. Drop it down. Make sure this is proper. There we go. Drop that down. So skipping the 11 seed beads, I'm going to go through the next 8mm. And then carefully pull my thread. So this is what it is so far. I really like the way this is turning out to be. And let's see. It's very simple. Because we are skipping the 12 O's, the pattern is like a twisted pattern. See that? You can actually twist it and keep it this way as well, or you can keep it this way. It looks pretty either way. So I really like the way this is turning out to be. So let's pick out 5 seed beads. I'll show you guys one more time, and then 5 more. And 5. Drop it down. Since it's a doubled thread, it's a little bit troublesome, but I need that stability on that, because otherwise I feel that it is way too thin, so it won't be sturdy enough for our necklace. So that will be kind of bothering me a lot. This Mayuki thread is really good because you get the color that you need to work on. Even if the thread shows in your work, it's not a big deal because it's the matching color. So you go through the next 8mm. When you pull it, it looks like this. So I'm gonna continue doing this until I reach 1 bead after 2 beads after this. So we have 1 here and 1 here, and then we are going to stop right there. So this is what I'm going to do for the entire necklace, and I'll come back. So I finished stringing all the beads right here. Actually it's twisting, but that's really beautiful. I really like the way this turned out to be. I am about to add the last one, and as I said, these are not branded seed beads, so I need to a little bit be careful on how many I pick up. I pick up total 10 seed beads. So but as you guys can see, when I'm holding it on the needle, the size is like all over the place. So just make sure, I am making sure that I pick up beads which is almost the same size as the other one. So the final bead that I pick up is a thinner one, so the 5th bead, and then that's how I'm doing it. But if you're using a branded seed bead, you don't even have to worry about this. So my thread is exiting out of the 8mm Czech glass bead. I skip the 12 seed beads and then go through the next 8mm with my needle and then pull this up. Okay, so if you can see that the thread is coming out here and going, but it is twisting, so that gives this nice effect, I say. And now once I do that, I go through this 12O as well, because I need to tie a knot. If possible, I should go through the next, one set of beads. Okay, and then all you need to do is come under. Okay, make yourself a loop and then go through that loop with your needle. Since I have doubled the thread, just be careful that your knot is nice and pulled in between the beads, and then go through a couple more as well. There we go. So that's why I didn't crimp on both ends. That if I did, as you guys can see, I don't know how I got this. Okay, let me see. As I didn't crimp both ends, because if we need a little bit of gap, then that means we need some we need to adjust something, right? So let me see why. There we go. So we need to adjust something. If there is a little bit breathing space we can actually pull it down and then do the stuff. So now again I'm doing one more half hitch. I already did one. I'm doing one more half hitch knot. So I like to keep my fingers like that, and then go down and go through that loop. Just hold everything nice and tight, and so there we go. Now pull it. You can do this through the entire necklace, but it doesn't have to be. I just go through one more bead. We already did 2 knots, and then I'm gonna go ahead and keep my finger on top, go underneath. Okay, there we go. Okay, just hold it like that. Okay, now go through this loop once and pull it a little bit more, then go through this one more time. Okay, and then try and pull this nice and tight. There we go. Tighten that up. If you want, you can go through the bead, but go through the 12O and the 8O if possible, and then come out like that. Okay, and then you can snip off your thread here. Wire snips won't work, so use a scissors. There we go. I have this much left, which is okay. And then this side I made a bigger, messier knot. Okay, so I'm just going to melt that knot with my thread zap, and I'm not going to do anything here. So here we have as you guys can see, there's a little bit, but that's okay. 3, 6, 9, 12, no, 11. We have 11 of the beads here. I don't have 11, so I'm just going to snip off. How many I have? 6. So I'm gonna snip off here. Okay, now you take this bead stopper off, thread in seed beads and couple of these as well. So there is 6, 7, 8, 9. So you can also use 11 or 8 beads, 10 or 8 beads, anything will work. So 4, 8, 9, 10, one more. Then our crimp bead, then our jump ring. Come back through the crimp bead, take your pliers. It'll be easy with your pliers than your fingers. Just make sure that this is parallel and the wire is not twisted inside the crimp bead. That's important. Go ahead. You can flat crimp it or you can use the crimping pliers. I'm going to use the crimping pliers because I used it last time. So the second hole, you guys go ahead and press it. Now it will be separated like this. Then go with the first top hole vertically and squish that. That way it will look like a bead exactly. And then you can snip the excess thread off with your thread snips or wire cutters. So it's almost done. Let me show you guys what I am going to do with this, right? So here we go. The knot is there. I don't need all of these. There we go. I took a chance with the lighter. I should not have done that, but I did. I wanted to use the thread zap, but I completely forgot. The lighter was right next to me and I did it. But we did it. It's done. And our necklace has come out pretty. That's what is important. But do take precaution. And yeah, I always forget to check the lobster claw. You guys do it, because otherwise when you add it in the work and then realize that the lobster claw was not working properly, then it's a hassle. I thought this lobster claw was big. It's not that big. It's small only. I really like the way this necklace turned out to be. It is very pretty. It's different. It's unique. It was not our normal pattern, but at the same time it's not very difficult to make this. I hope you guys like this project. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification. I do upload videos couple of times a week. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day and bye.